I mean, how is like the on and off throttle? Is it good?
Well, it's like you get in it and it'll like it don't want to go, then all of a sudden it's like.
That's what I was trying to get out of it. But I mean,
I think that's all in throttle cable. I think it's
so?
the throttle body. I don't think it's nothing to do with nothing, because you can feel the throttle cable itself stiff, and then all of a sudden when the throttle cable frees up, it's like it wants to go.
Okay, so you think that's what it is?
I think it's in the
okay. So you don't think it's tune related?
I don't think it's tune related.
Okay. As you can see, Andrew didn't expect me to be recording when he got back, but we've been working on the car and just playing with the tune, and Andrew decided to drive the car. So this is his first time driving it, and yeah, believe it or not, I know it's crazy. And so what do you think about it? Does
The car runs good.
Runs good? The car really does run good, guys. For being tuned by a non-professional, I guess you could say, a guy that learned how to tune off YouTube, there was a few little bugs that we wanted to try to work out of it. One of the things was what me and Andrew was talking about. It seems like the car has like a hard spot in it, right?
Yeah.
It's like it has a hard spot in it, and then it doesn't go, and then all of a sudden it goes. Well, and that's only when you're creeping, right? Or like when you're just on throttle tip in. We'll call it that. So whenever you go to tip in on the throttle, it's like nothing, and then all of a sudden the car wants to go. Now that's aggravating. It's fine as long as you're cruising.
I feel like the throttle body's probably pushed open enough going down the road.
Or maybe hanging up. You know, it may be closed so far that it's hanging up. But that throttle cable is an old cable. Did you put one in the cart? A new throttle cable?
No.
Okay. Well, Andrew has been looking through. Matter of fact, we need to go do that. There's a computer out there.
Blinkers. We need blinkers.
They work, Andrew. Blinkers work.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Andrew, grab the computer real quick. I'm going to show you. I hadn't even looked yet. So we're going to look and see what Andrew has added to the cart for us to order to basically get ready for Ford Takeover. So this will be my first time looking at everything that he's added.
Nothing much.
But what we want to do is just kind of get a game plan. So this will be your guys' first time seeing it and mine. All right, so let's see what Andrew has added to my cart here.
Map light, because that one don't work.
Map light. Jesus, Andrew.
It's $100.
Ain't nobody buying no map light. What's
It's
wrong
your
with
money.
you?
It ain't mine. If it was my money, I wouldn't buy one, but I'm spending your money.
Oh, okay. So this is what Andrew's added.
Hood liner, ball joints.
Yeah. All right. So
Fans
not
and
a
fan
whole
bracket.
lot, but there is the electric fan setup that we're thinking about going with right there. So these are a few of the things that we're going to try to get together, get on the car before Ford Takeover. As far as the car running hot, it really doesn't run hot anymore, to be honest with you. But it will start to warm up if it sits at an idle. I noticed that. So sitting in the garage with no.
200 degrees, I don't know.
Yeah, it got to about 202 actually, sitting in the garage, just sitting
When
there.
I started rolling down the highway right there, it dropped down to 188 immediately.
Yeah, so I don't know what the deal is with that. I can't remember what thermostat I put in the car, but we're starting to think it was a 160, which is a no-no. Shouldn't have done that, and the only reason I say that is because earlier we were watching the temperature, and it got up to like 160 pretty quick and then immediately fell down. So it's probably a 160 thermostat, and this radiator and this fan setup cannot cool the water off quick enough. So anyway, so that's what we got coming for the car. Guys, we're trying to get this thing ready for Tennessee for Ford Takeover. So hopefully before too long, we'll have this thing in the road and ready to go. I guess we can talk a little bit about the new setup. So as you all know, you've probably already seen that video by now, but we're going with a 347 setup in a dark block. So what do you think this car is going to make? Now, by this time, everybody will have already said their numbers in the other video, but I want to know what you think.
It depends on how far we push it.
Let's call it safe max effort.
I think it'll make 650, 680. Just absolutely kill. I think it'll make over 700 kill.
Yeah, I think if we really, really push it to its limit, I mean, push it. We don't know what this turbo is capable of with these extra cubes. So that's going to be the deciding factor. But I guess I agree with Andrew, but I guess I agree with Andrew based off of this. The internals should hold 650, 700. The internal should.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
I'm thinking the crankshaft.
We've got forged rods, forged pistons with a Scat 9000 crank. Guys, those cranks are pretty good. I mean, look at
900 on them cranks all day.
yeah, look at Chris Watson. I mean, he's out there making 900 horsepower.
We're not known for having the best luck.
Yeah, and we will be running a Torco blend. Now, I do want to talk about that real quick because I mentioned it in the other video, and somebody was like, well, if you have E85, you should run that. Tell them what I think about running E85.
You hate it more than I do.
I hate it.
A lot.
I hate it. Does it work? Absolutely. It absolutely works.
I mainly just hate it because the station's so far from my house.
Exactly. So we've only got one station that sells E85, and this is the problem with that. To run E85, to have a tune, so if we tune this car for E85, we would have to drain all of the gas out of it and make sure that we got fresh E85 in it. Plus, there's different blends of E85, winter, summer, stuff like that.
Stuff around here is usually only, if you test it, it tests out to about 77, 78%. So it ain't even like it's great E85.
Yeah, it's not the best E85. But if we run Torco in this car, then all we got to do, if we get ready to race, if we're going somewhere and we know we're about to race, dump the Torco in it. It's pretty simple. I mean, you can't really overdo it. Cullen, a good friend of ours from back in the day, they always ran Torco blends, and it worked great. None of them ever blew any cars up. I've heard of plenty of people in the past running it. And it's something, to be completely honest with you, that a lot of people don't run anymore. You don't hear a lot of Torco stuff, or I think now they've got a company called Race Gas or whatever it is, or Race Fuel. But anyway, that's what we're going to do. We're going to run that because we're going to push this thing on basically on 93 as far as we can. Essentially, the Race Gas tune, the Torco tune, is only going to probably be a couple extra degrees of timing. So, I mean, we're still probably going to be safe regardless, but that'll just give us the benefit of the doubt. Everybody tell Andrew he needs to go to Ford Takeover right now. He says he has a family vacation planned. What am I? Chopped liver? Andrew, that's messed up.
I had a prior family vacation.
Hey, no, actually he didn't, because guys, did we not know about Ford Takeover a year ago?
No, not the exact dates.
Andrew's tripping.
We knew, I knew I was going, but I didn't know I was going to be that exact.
Did you hear that?
I can't stand you. I'm going to try my best to go.
Andrew's going to try to go.
I want to go bad.
Yeah, we're going to have a good time. If he's able to go, I'm telling you, it's going to be a blast. I think, you know, last year turned out to be pretty good at Ford Takeover. We met a lot of people, had a damn good time. We even met that gearhead guy, and he was all right. So this year, there should be a lot more people there. And I'm pushing this Ford Takeover thing because, Andrew, tell him, it was fun last year, man. The pre-meets were awesome. We actually had kind of a couple pre-meets, I guess you could say. Yeah. We had one at the hotel, and then we had one later on that night, and man, it was fun.
There ended up being several people staying in our hotel.
Yeah, and I promise you guys, I hate to keep saying this, but I don't want your expectations to be up here, because I know on camera this thing looks good. I edit the video. I know it looks good on camera.
It makes it look good.
It makes it look good on camera. Yeah, sometimes I add some saturation and stuff, like right now. All right, guys. The Calypso clone should be there unless we blow it up, and that's always a possibility. We could do that before we go. If not, then we'll just... If not, we'll replace it with the Retro Fox. All right, so real quick, like I was going to end the video, but I want to check something real quick. Andrew said that he didn't think it was it was tune related, and I kind of agree with him. But what I'm thinking might be happening with this car is the throttle blade, when it completely closes off, a lot of times they close too tight and it kind of sticks. So what we're going to do to somewhat verify that is we're going to start the car up and unplug the idle air control and see how low the car idles down on its own. If the car idles down really low on its own, then that's telling me that we probably need to open up this throttle blade. All right, Andrew's going to start the car up, and I'm simply just going to unplug the idle air control. That's pretty low. I may need to crack the throttle blade open a little bit.
It was idling when it was unplugged earlier at about 980,000, something like that, and right now it's about 720.
Okay.
700 something.
I guess what I'm trying to say here is that's just an indicator that we may have the throttle blade closed off a little too much. That's all. I'm not saying that this is going to fix the problem, but it's something that we can look at. And when I say it's catching, it's not really bad. It's not like a complete dead spot. It's just ever so slightly. Like if you're trying to work out the last little bug in your tune or in your car drivability wise, like this is that thing right here. I don't know, you guys can't see it. This thing is electric green right now out here. That is crazy. Andrew said that made a little bit of a difference. Said that it wasn't as tough. So now the car is idled up too high right now. Yeah. So now what we need to do is lower the duty cycle on the idle air control. So what I'm going to do now is get up here and try to adjust the duty cycle. I'll get back to you guys in just a minute. All right, we're back. Everything's pitch black out here now, but I just wanted to let you guys know that I think we figured it out. We did get a lot of the kind of rough spot, the hard spot, out of the throttle cable. We got that out. I want you guys to hear this. Now on camera it may not show up, but this car has never sounded this good. I still think we need to idle it down some.
Me too.
All right, I tell you what, it sounds really good right this second. I'm gonna idle it down. I'm gonna let Andrew hold the camera while I idle this thing down, and y'all tell me when to stop.
You can listen to him?
Yeah.
Good? Yeah.
It's funny because the thing that actually happened was, it's hard to explain, but I'd made a change whenever I first started tuning the car. I made a change on this thing that has stayed the same ever since. I never went back and changed it, and it's in the test panel. It's the test panel for your idle air control. So I changed that and I raised the number up too high, and that's why the car never really kind of gave me the idle that I wanted. Now the car sounds pretty good. Now we do have EGO correction on, which is going to make the car kind of fluctuate and not hit as hard. I can turn a lot of those settings down and probably make it hit a little harder, but it also keeps the car idling good. Anyway, guys, with that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this video up. Calypso Clone's probably running the best it ever has right now, and I will catch you in the next one.